Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We really wanted to bring props, but
Didn't
we'll
think
go.
about it. Yep. Yay.
Happy New Year! I think everybody's excited about being in 2022. All the news reports that I choose to read are about the positive
Leaving it in the past.
changes for 2022. We're moving ahead. It's positive energy, positive thoughts, positive everything. So 2022 is going to be an amazing year. It's already started.
If you think you need to file a claim, please call your agent first, unless your house is on fire in the middle of the night. I get it. Call the insurance company. But try to call your agent first and talk about it. I'm currently dealing with one. He has a $1,000 water claim from last June, and he's decided to rent that house out and buy a new house. It took me weeks to get somebody to insure his new house because of this $1,000 water claim that he didn't talk to me about first. It's caused a huge headache. And I now have to rewrite that home to tenant occupied, and he has a third home that's being non-renewed for roof age, and that claim affects all of that.
Welcome to the Rebel Realty Group podcast with myself, Kristen Rebel.
And Rebecca Johnson.
Rebecca Johnson. I'm Kristen, and this is Mark Spewak, my friend, a great lender in town, someone that I trust, someone that I use, someone that I send my realtors to, and here he is today.
Thanks for having me, Kristen.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Advisors Mortgage Group.
I was talking to a realtor yesterday who told me that if you take out condos, you take out commercial, and you take out vacant land, single family detached, there was 300 and something homes.
Yeah, that's
on
what
the
we
market.
go over every Monday, so we don't have that, but yes.
I couldn't believe that stat.
I think we are one of those states where we've had the highest demand for Florida homes. It's always kind of been that way.
Be here? Let's just take a moment to appreciate that it's 80 degrees out, that it's sunshine, that I was at the beach over the weekend. Not only do you have like a beach to go to, but we have a plethora of beaches.
And not just beaches, lakes, rivers.
I'm like, this place is gorgeous. I look at the pictures of the people up north shoveling snow and stuff, and I'm like,
I've lived in it. It's horrible. It is absolutely horrible.
But God bless you all who live up north, but Florida life is amazing, so how could it not be in demand?
Let's bring on our friend Douglas Smith.
Douglas Smith, I own Smith Lending, which is a brokerage. I originate loans and been doing it for about 10 years now in Tampa. This is what I tell all my buyers, is that the list price is the starting price, okay? And value is what someone's willing to pay for that home.
Right.
So if the home is priced at $300,000, that's where the sellers want to start. And you have to think in your mind, is this home worth $300,000 to me, or is it worth $320,000? Because there's going to be an investor right behind you who's going to be buying it for $315,000 cash.
Exactly.
So that is value.
And we have Christy Moffitt of Brightway Insurance, Moffitt Agency here, and we're talking insurance. How do you talk to homeowners who maybe call you and say, I've got this rate increase or I've been canceled? What do I do?
So my first thing is always call your agent. The insurance companies are the reason that the insurance rates are going up, or they're dictating what's happening, and your agent's there to help you. So make sure you call the agent that you have and see how they'd be able to help you. And if they can't, certainly call another agent. But what's going to happen if you're canceled or non-renewed, a lot of times there's an opportunity for you to fix whatever it is that they have an issue with. So as far as sellers go, the roof is the number one most important thing.
Okay.
So if the roof is over 15 years old and it's shingle, your buyers are going to have a more difficult time. Can they find coverage? Absolutely. If everything else is fine with the house. My best recommendation, because every situation is different, is have an established relationship with an insurance agent that you love as a realtor. Whoever it is, call them and say, can you insure this house?
Brian Knapp from B Print Design, talking marketing and branding. Can you give us your definition of each of them and how they differ?
Yeah, I would say marketing to me is everything you do to brand yourself from different avenues, whether it be, TV, radio, print, promo items, it's everything encompassed. Design, obviously, that's one part of your marketing.
So what do you think is the hardest a new small business to come up with?
I've seen this a lot. They want to get everything done super quick, but in reality, you should really take your time and slow down, get a good logo, maybe hire someone that knows what they're doing.
We're back here on the Rebel Podcast with Dan Monchu from Hale Title. Well, let's talk a little bit first about title insurance. Why is it so important to buyers, especially?
Title insurance, we're the necessary evil, and you're not glad you have it until you need it. And title insurance can insure all kinds of defects from the past, legal descriptions, missing witnesses and notaries. It could be so many different things. And a lot of times just by having the policy, which is why we stress for people to hang on to that policy for as long as they own it, nobody really explains to them the importance of that policy, and then they go to sell their house down the road and there's a problem and they have no idea what they did to their policy. They thought it was junk mail. They think it was recorded in the public records, and it's not. A lot of times we can get their policy and send it to our underwriter and we can close their transaction without having to do anything. But there are some that are more serious, and that's when you need that title policy, because you have to file a claim and it can take a while.
Our guest speaker today is Chase McNeil, again from the Masters Lawn Care. So what are some great tips that you can give to homeowners?
Basic irrigation checks, that's a huge thing. People kind of set it and forget it. They come outside and see the grass is wet or concrete. Hey, it's working. But they're not up at 4 a.m. to check it. Is that one head moving, or is there a leak somewhere creating that water? Those small leaks add up huge in a GRU bill. And Florida native plants, if you're doing installs, that's a big thing. They don't require near the volume of water. You can use different types of products to help treat with the soil for water retention. Some people don't have irrigation at all, and they use like Hydrotain, products like that. It's made to retain moisture, and as well as we're doing the organic compost right now.
Okay.
That's also a huge plus to help kind of naturally retain water with the change in your soil structure.
Well, thank you again, Chase. We appreciate it. All right, we're back with Janine Gray of Magnolia Lane Studios. Tips for sellers, how they should have the house staged on photo day. Are there any tips that you remember?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, definitely get rid of as much personalized stuff as possible, because you want people to envision them living in this house. It's not your house anymore.
All the time, right?
Because I know you love your photos, but you save those photos for your next house and you get rid of those. And I do see that sometimes going into houses where they still have their personal photos up. And it just makes it hard for a buyer to picture themselves living.
Yeah. Do you have any other tips? Like we always tell people, like,
declutter.
Clear off your refrigerator.
Yeah, and take a step back and look at the room as a whole. And do you see wires anywhere? Do you see things, because I have to like go and unplug those and move them around whenever I'm taking pictures. So just kind of take a step back and look and see if there's anything that looks out of place that you don't normally notice because you're sitting there.
We have a special guest, Andrew Cady, the epic mortgage guy at Fairway. We're excited to have him on here with that flag in the background. Hey, good to see you. What are you seeing in the market right now?
Following the crash in 2008, homes, single-family residence were not considered an asset class by hedge funds. This only started popping up a couple years ago. A most recent study that was done showed 1 out of every 7 single-family homes in America is now owned by a corporation. And the problem you're running into with these massive hedge funds is that home very, very likely will never return to the MLS. That home is gone. It's off the market. It's taken. And so the homes you're seeing being snatched up by these big investment firms and these massive hedge funds, those are likely homes that are going to be permanent rental properties for the entirety of that property. And so this isn't really a temporary problem. This is going to be a permanent thing.
Grand Oaks is a newly constructed Weisman Builders community located in southwest Gainesville, Florida. The neighborhood has 2 entrances, one off Tower Road across from Oak Hall School and another off Southwest 24th Avenue. Grand Oaks is zoned for Childs Elementary School, Fort Clark Middle School, and Buchholz High School, all of which rank well and are highly regarded in Alachua County, one of the best school districts in Florida. Comprised of 302 homes, Grand Oaks is tucked away less than 2 miles from Celebration Point and 5 miles from UF Shands. Please visit buysellrebel.com to search for your new home in Grand Oaks.
Gainesville is set in the heart of North Central Florida and is home of the University of Florida Fighting Gators, top-notch hospitals, and healthcare facilities at Shands Hospital UF Health. Gainesville is located in Alachua County, surrounded by beautiful natural habitats such as dozens of lakes, springs, and trails. You can visit nature in town at Sweetwater, Paynes Prairie, Hawthorne Trail, and Devil's Mill Hopper, to name a few. Downtown Gainesville offers art, culture, history, lifestyle, and innovation mixed within nature. Listen to local bands play at the Bo Diddley Plaza, our outdoor amphitheater. Watch a play at the historic Hippodrome Theater. Stroll through the nostalgic streets of the Pleasant Street District. Take your kids to play outside at Depot Park. Visit an exhibit at the prestigious Cade Museum, or enjoy one of the many classic restaurants, local shops, and popular breweries in the Main Street area. Please visit buysellrebell.com to search for your new home.
A short 38 miles away from Gainesville to the south is the city of Ocala, Florida, home to a diverse natural beauty. Known as the horse capital of the world, the mix of horse culture with outdoor nature unique to the region makes Ocala a destination not to be missed for those considering a move. Ocala boasts some of the most iconic locations for inland boating in the state. Silver Springs is a state park where recreational opportunities abound. Glass bottom boat tours are available to the public and offer an up-close spectator experience with underwater wildlife. Canoeing, kayaking, bicycling, and camping are just a few of the most popular activities that Silver Springs has to offer, all conducted in the natural habitat that features different species of mammals, reptiles, and birds. It's hard to believe that near the wild nature habitats, springs, and park settings exist a bustling downtown square in the heart of the city. Historic downtown Ocala is a quaint and walkable downtown with an actual square and southern gazebo hosting live music, delicious dining opportunities, and shops that have been around for several generations. Similar to many southern towns, the historic district of Ocala expands to its many live oak-lined residential streets filled with homes representative of the times in which they were built. The flora and fauna of Ocala landscape enhance the residential home sites, coupled with great access to dining and shopping, all within close proximity in the heart of Ocala. Check out buysellrebell.com to find out more about your Ocala home. The city of Tampa along the southern Gulf Coast of Florida is home to some neighborhood gems. Come along as we explore a few pockets of the city. South Tampa offers a mix of historic neighborhoods, modern influences, and is bubbling with restaurants, shopping, and nightlife. Many find it a desirable location as it houses Bayshore Boulevard, the longest continuous sidewalk in the world, with no shortages of boutiques or beautiful scenic backdrops of Tampa Bay. Outdoor recreational spaces are a big draw to this community for dog lovers and parents alike. If you're looking for a contender for the best neighborhood in America, look no further than Seminole Heights, which was awarded this ranking in the early 2000s and has continued to become more desirable. It has experienced somewhat of a renaissance of rising property values, plentiful offerings of trendy restaurants, and new businesses occupying many of the neighborhood's historic buildings. To experience a real sense of community, you will want to check out the Armature Works area just north of downtown Tampa on the river. The old warehouse that serves as a maintenance barn for streetcars and trolleys in a previous life has been given a dramatic makeover and now operates as a historic mixed-use building. Whether you are looking for an event space, public market, co-working locations, a rooftop cocktail to take in the views, or innovative eateries, Armature Works is a spot to check out. If you find yourself in the area, be sure to stop by the Rebel Realty Group Tampa office, which is conveniently located 2 minutes around the block from the Glazers Children Museum, the Tampa Museum of Art, and the Florida Museum of Photographic Art. Our on-site agents know the neighborhood amenities that matter most. Check out buysellrebell.com to find your Tampa Bay home. Looking for your next shopping trip to Gainesville? We have a few places to recommend, starting with Butler Plaza. This shopping center has been a hub for shopping in North Central Florida for over 35 years. You can find everything you need for your busy life, all conveniently located in one place. Next, we have Celebration Point. From relaxing outside in the beautiful promenade to shopping for the perfect outfit, the number of things to do at Celebration Point is nearly unlimited. If you find yourself on the west side of town, Tioga Town Center is a must visit. With premier shopping and dining, there's lots to experience. Tioga Town Center has regular events such as Movies on the Square and summer concert series that invites families and guests of all ages to enjoy local outdoor entertainment at the beautiful covered amphitheater. Lastly, Hale Village Center has a vibrant shopping environment where you can experience great food, local shopping, and one of the best farmers markets in town. Hale Village hosts two very popular festivals every year, Oktoberfest and Light the Village. Please visit buysellrebel.com to learn more about local shopping centers in Gainesville. Hey, I'm Rebecca Johnson with Rebel Realty Group, and here are some frequently asked questions. How long will it take to sell your home? Depends on the market that we're in currently. If it's buying season and there's lots of buyers out and you're in particular price points, it could be a matter of hours to days, while other price points sometimes take up to 30 to 60 days. The first thing to do when you prepare your home to sell is to contact your Rebel Realty Group agent. We have a 75-point checklist that will help you get started on getting your home ready to sell. For it to become a buyer's market, we really have to have more listings than we have buyers, because then the buyers have the option to look at more homes and make a decision more carefully than they are in a seller's market where it is more competitive and you're in a multiple offer situation. Saving up money to buy your first home can be difficult. Some simple ways that you can do that is packing a lunch, not buying coffee every day, and really keeping a tight budget as you're working to save for your home. The credit score you need to buy a home will depend on the type of loan that you're planning to get. At Rebel Realty Group, we're aligned with some great local lenders that can get that question answered for you and show you the best options. Real estate prices are 100% negotiable in the type of market that you're in. If you are in a seller's market, sometimes the list price is the starting price. If you're in a buyer's market, you'll be able to get more credits or discounts on price. It really just depends on the market you're in at the time. You can always reach out to any Rebel agent and we would be happy to explain the type of market you're in at the time.
I first met Kristen and Rebecca many years ago through the industry. I was doing closings, they were agents on either the buyer or the seller side. We became friends, and at some point we started talking more, and I would share education with them, they'd share it with me. We'd kind of use each other as part of a team so we could solve problems and answer questions for each other.
We do a lot of their closings. We get referrals from them. In turn, we give referrals back to them as well. So it's a win-win relationship that we have with each other. They are excellent agents who are always giving us exactly what we need in order to make a smooth closing.
The Rebel agents have always been very kind and courteous and fun and knowledgeable. They're all smart, they're all go-getters, and they all want to do everything the right way. I think that we both, company-wise, want to be the best of the best that we can for our clients, provide excellent customer service, professionalism.
The electrical company I own facilitates mainly new construction housing, and so often we had customers in common. They were the realtors and I was the electrical contractor. And then later on doing real estate investing, I've always utilized them, and very professional service. 100% of the time they've always just been super professional, helpful, always informal of everything that's going on, and just one of the best businesses I've ever worked with.
Rebel is very proactive with their buyers and their sellers on making sure that every transaction runs as smooth as possible. And they do a really good job of getting ahead of potential roadblocks. Even if something as minor as insurance is involved, they do a really good job of getting out in front of it and making sure they know where those pitfalls are in the transaction process so that we can combat those before we get there.
They have a complete commitment to education, to have their agents have knowledge of the industry and not have gaps in their knowledge. So they're always bringing in people to talk about the different issues, whether it's insurance, lending, title, legal, whatever that may be. The realtors are out there in the field. They're the ones who are uncovering the issues and finding out what's going on. So when they call me, I either know the answer or I'm doing research, and that really helps me because it keeps me learning. I have to have that connection with the agents in the field, so it's really a reciprocal relationship in that sense.
My experience with Kristen and Rebecca has been fun. We laugh a lot. They are both very smart. Rebecca knows an amazing amount about Alachua County and the city of Gainesville. Kristen is just a real estate guru.
I would recommend Rebel Realty because they are probably the most caring, honest agents that will do right by a buyer or seller.
My name is Cecile Arce and I'm an agent here with Rebel Realty Group. While researching local firms, Rebel welcomed me right away and made me feel like I was part of the family before I even joined. I have direct access to both my brokers as well as an amazing support staff and several tailored marketing resources. Rebel has a very dynamic work environment. It's very welcoming, fun, and you're all constantly learning. Rebel has provided me the confidence to be a dedicated and passionate professional. I would recommend Rebel Realty to anyone looking for top-notch training, ongoing support staff, and a sense of deep camaraderie. I would recommend Rebel Realty Group to a buyer or seller looking for a dedicated professional that has ongoing training and can be accessed at any given time.
those of you who are watching who either want to get into real estate or are in real estate and aren't sure why they're struggling, what are 3 things?
So, number one is that you listen. You listen to your customers, you listen to the people around you, what they're looking for, what they want, what they need from you. You just listen. You don't over talk, you don't give your opinion, you listen. That's number one. Another thing is, I think no matter what the problem is or what's happening, you find a way. So you kind of like thinking outside of the box. And I think this is true with anything that you do. You could be a doctor, a nurse, a teacher, listening, thinking outside of the box to get it done, and positive attitude. Real estate is not as easy as everyone thinks it is. It's also not as hard. I mean, another couple things in there is like patience, and it's just the eagerness to get it done, to get the job done.